Hello, people. Welcome to the stream. Who do we have here? We have Tia today. Hi, Tia. I hope you're doing good. I mean, you could go for that. There's gonna be less wilds, so I guess it's your choice. Gun. Let me just fix this window a bit more. Okay, so I decided to begin with the yapping, and then we are gonna go to do the runs, depending on, you know, what you are gonna, you know, send over to you. But yeah. I know that the tier list format is a bit overdue and old, which is why I'm not using letter-based ranks. Instead of I'm going with like, you know, OP, kind of just trying to 3, only one that matters. Instead I'm trying to go for like, you know, opinions contained in a single word. Or 2 words in this case, or 3 words. Whatever, you get it. Let's go with like the game that's gonna be the meter of... It's gonna be pretty much used to judge other games against it. Which we know already. We have Genu. Genu is a Monster Hunter game. Might probably the best thing Capcom ever did for the franchise. I don't think it's ever coming back. Or, well, not the game itself. I don't think we are ever getting a game like Geo. It automatically sits at GOAT tier. The amount of content you have is crazy. Like, for being a 3DS/Switch game, but mostly a 3DS game, the content is insane. It's one of the biggest monster rosters without subspecies. So you have a huge amount of monsters. It's like 90 different unique monsters. I'm not considering deviants, by the way, because deviants are not different monsters to me. You have styles. You have around 100 weapons per weapon type to make. All of them are level upable until endgame, more or less. So some of them are gonna be worse, some of them are gonna be really good. The set diversity you can have is not the widest, but that's because old Monster Hunter is very restraining on skills. So you won't have like crazy sets with 20 to 40 skills, but that's fine. You can still make some very unique stuff. You can have Mushroom Answer sets, Alchemy makes for interesting sets, Valor is Valor, Adapt is cool. Like, this game might be the best thing that ever happened to the franchise, and I don't think we will get something that topples it in a... out of sheer amount of content, diversity, weapon diversity, and so on. Straight up. Tia said that 3. 3 the only one that matters. So 3. Since you didn't say 3U, I'm grabbing Try for this. Monster Hunter Try. I haven't played too much of it, or I think only 40 to 50 hours. Which for many people is crazy amount of time. For other people, that's nothing, as it should be. Try is a game that for me is flawed. Try has interesting things, new mechanics. We have like water combat. We had the first appearance of a Switch X. We have still a village that felt like the older Monster Hunter games. but the game is flawed. You have less weapon types than games before. I don't know what the take was, like what the idea was of limiting you to different weapon types. Water combat was still a bit clunky. It's not a bad thing to me, but it needed more refinement, which would have been a good idea to improve on in the next generations, which never happened. The monster roster is incredibly small. What else? The high rank is only online, which was a shit idea, because that means you can do high rank without taking some hoops, jumping some hoops and so on currently. You can do it, like you can easily do it, but if you have your Switch as is now, your Wii right now, you can do it. Good things about Try: the bowgun system might be the best bowgun system I've ever seen in Monster Hunter. The roster is good, it's just very tiny. So if I consider it as a product, because to me, this tier list also considers you buying the game as a product, so what you're getting for your money. Try feels a bit short, falls a bit short in my opinion. What else? The bowgun system is crazy good. Cha-Cha and... well, Cha-Cha technically, it's only Try. Cha-Cha might be... maybe a good, one of the best iterations of a partner you can have. He is not that bad. He does very little things, but the things he does are reliable. For example, you can have him automatically tell you where the monster is. You just ping and he does it. He can use like paralysis weapons and he's rather reliable at it. He's not crazy good, but he's reliable. Second gen had terrible ass cats, and Try was where your partners actually became useful. What else about Try? I played only bowgun in that game, just to explain, you know, just to put it out there. So maybe my opinions are a bit different. I feel that underwater combat needed more time. For example, the fact that bowguns have half the critical distance makes sense, but also makes fights annoying. The armors... yes, I gunned. There is no Gallens. Like on a Gallenser game, this would be spiteful because there is no Gallens. But yeah. I feel that the armors are a bit weak for what they are. But yeah, overall, it's a flawed game. I would say flawed, but still enjoyable. Like, the flaws don't go against your enjoyment from minute to minute. Like, that's not the kind of flaw that annoys you whenever you're hunting. But you know you're getting a product and a game which is substantially lesser compared to other things. Especially for a main console game and not a portable one. What can I go for now? Speaking of a portable game that is small, Portable Third. There is some bias involved. Portable Third is my first game in the Monster Hunter saga I played. You can have it on the PSP. You can play it with GameStop Online for free. It runs on a toaster right now. The game is very simple, rather easy. High rank hub will still kick you if you're solo. But village, yeah, is kinda easy. The village is probably the best iteration of the village we have, because you can farm pretty well. You don't need points to gather things, kinda like in Try and Triu. For example, Try and Triu village are worse in my opinion. The cats are good. The story is fine. You're just, you know, living in Yokuma village and you are dealing with, like, you know, some strand of new monster that appeared. and they are being a bit too close to the village or bringing damage to the village's activities. So, for example, Arzuros is a pain because you needed, like, people who are getting wood are running into Arzuros, or Royal Honey is needed and Arzuros is blocking that. Zinogre just showed up out of nowhere. He wasn't local, he just began to show up. And in the end, you fight Amatsu Magatsuchi, who pretty much is prone to bring a cyclone which would destroy the village. So, tiny, simple story, good monster design. I feel Portable Third, I would put it here because of my bias. If I want to be honest, it would be a sure why not game. As in, if anybody asks me to play it and I'm not playing any of the games above, I'm just gonna go, yeah, sure, why not? And I'm gonna do a hunt or two. I'm pretty much completed Portable Third. I'm missing like very few things, but Portable Third is pretty much the first game I'm pretty much done with entirely. And I have enjoyed every one of those hours. So yeah, it sits in here. What could I go for now? I'm not gonna put games. Yeah, GU is a basis because it's really hard to be better than GNU, honestly. Like, the only game that would be better than GNU, I should probably wait on G titles. Well, I'm gonna show the games I played. So, for example, since I haven't played 4, I'm not gonna talk about For You. Sorry, since I didn't play 4, I'm not gonna talk about 4. I'm gonna talk about For You, for example. But there are examples of me playing both of them. Let's actually pull it up. Monster Hunter World. The biggest seller of the franchise, maybe already surpassed by Wilds sometime soon. The game that made burger people go, oh wait, Monster Hunter is a thing. I feel that at its core it's a game that sold a part of his soul just to be able to be bought by a lot of people. So he sits in Flood automatically. They changed so many systems just to try and fix something that was never broken in the first place to get some popularity and sell it on PlayStation. I like the graphics, the new graphics. I'm completely down for them. I feel that the colors are a bit washed out. The weapon models are weak. The story is whatever the fuck it is. Which wouldn't be a problem because, for example, the story of Portable Third is the most simple thing ever, and the story of GU is stuff. But Monster Hunter World makes a huge focus on the story, with forced cutscenes that interrupt your single player, your multiplayer. I feel more lower sure because it's fun to jump into. You mean World or Portable Third? Portable Third is definitely a game you can pick up, play for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, drop, come back in 4 months, and still enjoy it. Because it's a very simple game. They don't ask you anything. You just go in, hunt your monster, World. Okay, so let's say if you want to have an entry point in the series, I would suggest Portable Third for the classic era, because like I said, it doesn't ask you anything. You can suck and you will be able to learn and enjoy the game. For the new games, I would say World maybe, but World has a problem which is gonna be shown very soon. So I wouldn't go. I would suggest Wilds at the moment, actually. So World actually would be in Sure Why Not when I played it back then, but it drops in here because it has a lot of flaws, and namely the flaw is Iceborne. Iceborne did something that was disgusting. Iceborne touched the base game things, which it shouldn't. Now Ward is automatically worse because you have monsters getting a claw stagger, but you don't have the claw if you don't have Iceborne. Now Tenderizer is nerfed, but you don't have the claw, so you can't get Tenderizer back to normal. Ward pretty much got nerfed by Iceborne existing, and not in the, oh, you know, 4 is worse than for you because you can buy for you and it's better. Nah, because Ward itself got affected by Iceborne existing directly, because they changed how the base game works to support Iceborne. And that was one of the main reasons why I dislike the title updates and stuff. Because now you can't have the Ward experience on release or, you know, after a few updates, because you can't. Iceborne ruined it. Iceborne changed so many things. Like, now if you buy Iceborne, if you don't have Iceborne, your cat has some skills. If you buy Iceborne, even if you are not doing Iceborne content yet, your cat is gonna improve skills and is gonna use Iceborne level skills. And that's just... I don't like that one. I don't like that one bit. It should have been that once you get into Iceborne, you unlock those things. For example, Tenderizer nerf should be applied only to G rank quests. Oh, I'm sorry, Master rank quests. You know what? Wilds. Wilds drops immediately in flow tier. Wilds as a game, as in comparison to the average AAA game you're getting, Wilds would be GOAT. You pay your average entry price for a game, you have probably 500 to 600 hours of content. Nah, probably 300 to 400 right now. You are gonna get way more than that with title updates. Wilds is bound to climb in the tier list over time. Meanwhile, Ward is gonna stay there forever. Wilds is inexcusable for a few things. Namely, you don't release a game in that state. That's not a state where you should be releasing a game in. The technical side of this game is inexcusable. It runs like shit on most PCs, and it's not even a matter of, oh, you know, it requires a bit more power. Ward runs way better on older machines, and Ward doesn't look any worse than Wilds. Wilds has some pretty areas, but so does Ward. There is literally no excuse on that. It's the same engine as well. The loading issues are crazy, like, you can see polygons just everywhere, while that stuff could have been fixed during the loading stage. What else? The shader stuff has been solved, luckily, like, you don't load shaders that often. But yeah, overall, the technical side is crazy. Like, I can boot the game right now, and I'm gonna see polygons everywhere, fucking everywhere. It has been like, what, almost a month since release? That's terrible. I'm penalizing this game a lot just because, like I said, my list also counts as a product, and it counts, you know, when I played or right now, and when I played, Wild State is garbage. Yeah, like, I don't get how Capcom can push Ward. Ward is, you know, very well refined graphics. Meanwhile, Wilds can come out like that. I know that Capcom focused on Wild's PlayStation release. But I couldn't give less of a shit. I paid $100 for it because of my special edition. I want a game that deserves my money, both on the gameplay side and the technical side. And Wilds right now doesn't deserve, as a consumer, is not a good product. Now, if we talk gameplay, this might be the best gameplay of the modern era, straight up. Like, Wilds is almost on par with GU for gameplay. The Gallens feels amazing. Yeah, normally still kinda shit, whatever, but, you know, it's Gallens, it has its flaws. The fights are good, the game is not a spaz fest like Rise, and you don't have broken ass moves. I think that focus mode could use a bit of a nerf. Maybe wounds would show up less often or something like that. Maybe they would have to compensate that with some guardian nerfs, because guardians are made to be, you know, countered by wounds. Maybe they make so that they appear commonly on guardians and less commonly on other monsters. But yeah, the gameplay is very good. I love the gameplay of Wilds. They made some mixes between Rise, map navigation, and words. So you have a bit more detail. The maps are open, they are not an intricate mess. Set diversity, I feel, is kinda weak. But this is also the first. This is sadly a game that does the word thing, which is also why Wilds is down here, because else Wilds would fit in B tier. Wilds suffers the Monster Hunter World issue, namely, we are treating it as an MMO, despite Monster Hunter never being an MMO, except for one. And so they are basically releasing you half of the game currently. And you eventually will have in some months the game you paid for, which is stupid. I didn't like that about World, I don't like that about Wilds. Event quest shouldn't be rotating, event quest should be something you get forever. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, you can't... you cannot buy it. I mean, you could just not buy it, I guess. I don't think that Capcom is changing from that idea. And yeah, that's my opinion of Wilds. It's bound to climb to really good as it gets fixed and it gets more content. But right now, I would say it's flawed, straight up. It's less flawed than Monster Hunter World. I'm putting it worse than Try, because at least... well, then again, Try was actually a weak release. I think that Try and Wilds are on the same level as a product overall, as a game overall. Gameplay, of course, of Wilds is way better gameplay, but, you know, I have to check. I have to think about everything. What could we go for now? Now gets I'm joking. I haven't played now. Stories. They weren't after the worldwide. Yeah, they weren't after the worldwide audience, and the game was actually good. Speaking of a game they made in the good era, Monster Hunter Freedom 2. I played. I think I made 30 episodes. I made 30 episodes on my Twitch. I think it's even on YouTube. So basically, I think I played around like 80 to 90 hours on it. It comes from the good old era. It's the sister, the little sister of Freedom Unite. It goes into Spiteful tier. Freedom 2 might be the only game I played in the Monster Hunter saga where it feels like the dads are hating on you from the moment you turn on the console. Like, literally, to make one Gathering Armor, which wasn't the Leather Armor, I had to invest 2 streams because it was a rare flower. What are we talking about? Gallens is fine for what the game is. It's a second-gen game, so you're expecting monsters to pretty much just destroy you in 2 hits at best. Defense is a placebo. Like, the number doesn't matter. It's gonna reduce, like, the number of slaps you take from 2 to 1.95 at best. You die incredibly easy, and some enraged monsters you just don't want to fight. What else? Yeah, Gallens 3 is incredibly weak. It's only 11 weapons in the entire complete game. So you have like 3 to 4 Gallances in low rank, and the rest is in high rank. Have fun. 2 of them can't really be obtained with only Gallens, because one of them is the Lunastra Gallens, and Lunastra is probably like the worst thing ever made in that game. And you have to cut the tail, which wouldn't be bad. The issue is that Lunastra regenerates all of the almost broken parts when low on HP. And Elders in Freedom 2 require 3 hands or so to kill. So you're gonna fight a monster that has no wind-up jumps, insta-slap pose that hit you from behind, flame AoE, and you have to cut the tail on it of a monster that is way more mobile than you are. You're gonna have a lot of fun. I think that 2 weeks ago I was like, Lamau, let's do a Kirin hunt, and it was disgusting. This game is spiteful. Like, if you want a game to spit in your mouth, not in the hot way, you play Freedom 2. Straight up. There is no defense of this game. Still into that. Good. 3U. 3U, I played for like 60 to 70 hours. It would be a really good game. It drops to sure, why not? I think below Portable Third for a few reasons. One of them is that the charm tables are probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I don't know who the fuck decided that would be a good idea. Especially when the other games don't suffer from it. Plus, 3U kinda scammed us, because if you play the US or European version, you are getting 350 defense, which means low rank is a joke, because you have more defense in that game than any low rank armor piece you can have. Straight up. So the difficulty is down in low rank. Event quests allow you to circumnavigate some weapons requirement, so you can get some very strong weapons way before getting into the village stuff. For example, I got a Gallants with normal shelling tree at 1 star. It's an event, so you can say, oh yeah, it's an event, you know. Still, it feels a bit wrong. What else? The armor sets are okay. The shark skin grind is the worst. Is the worst, straight up. And somehow 3 Ultimate removed subquests. Like, had subquests that were a great idea, because they let you go in, do something on the side, or they can be incredibly good farm. For example, if you want shark skins, you can do a quest for another monster, and in that quest, for whatever reason, there is a bunch of shark skins, sharks with a Q, and you can just get your shark skins and then do the sub quest and leave. Meanwhile, 3U kinda regressed. 3U felt like they saw try, and they were like, yeah, this stuff is experimental, is cool and new, but we don't want to go that way. So we don't have the Bogan change, we don't have sub quests. The free exploration place is nerfed, because now it's always night for low rank, and it gets to night. Sorry, it's always day for low rank, and then it becomes night in high rank. The farm remained the same. The monster roster is amazing. The fights are good. I feel that it would be a really good game if it didn't have those weirdness with like charm tables and dropping a bunch of Try's identity. Also, for whatever reason, I don't know why 3U and Try didn't have Tigrex, but Portable Fur does. It's weird. Third gen would be amazing. I mean, Portable Third and 3 Ultimate are 2 games I would go play for at any moment. 3 Ultimate might be something I want to look into, because, well, there is Gen U to finish still. It's Prey, isn't there? Tiger Spray? Nah, Hunters are in every game. I think the answer is way simpler, Tia. Portable Third uses second gen assets. Well, at least it definitely was based on the second gen engine. So bringing Tigrex was incredibly easy for them. Meanwhile, it would have been a bit more of an effort for Trio. What else can I say? I think the Trio sits there. I need to play more Trio. Like I said, I only put 60 to 70 hours in it, so my opinion is kinda there. I feel though that if you want to play a new game, you go play For You. For You is kinda, the gameplay stuff feels the same as Trio. At least Gallens feels the same from Trio to For You. The difference is that For You actually made his own identity. Meanwhile, Trio was kinda trying to hide it except for water combat. For You might be the best main game of the franchise. The only thing that keeps For You down back a bit is the fact that the 3DS is such a shit console, and it's a game I don't enjoy playing on hardware, because the 3DS itself is very annoying for me to handle. But yeah, For You has a bunch of fucking monster. It has very good challenge. You have some side challenges like egg quests, which I'm sad got removed in the modern titles. It's got the Renmoran, which is like Tia's favorite monster. It's got the relic weapon system, which pretty much preceded Monster Hunter World's raid stuff and so on. So it made like Monster Hunter Gacha before. The One Piece! Yeah, I got to do that. I'm gonna shoot the Remorans, I guess. I deserve that. What else? Yeah, For You might be probably the best game. There are some things which kind of make me snort a bit. For example, the fact you can trade parts of a monster for another monster that you can't fight, but you can use these parts to make the weapons of the monster you can't fight. I feel it would be better if you just didn't have those weapons. But, you know, it was a decision they made. It fits the caravan theme, I suppose. It's a very clever one. Also, For You has a story that shits on World, if I want to be honest. For You's story is better than World, because at least there is no fucking handler in your face. Try has a really good story too. A game that would have a good story, but I can't rate is DOS. DOS would fit in Spiteful, by the way. DOS has a really good story of you begin with a shitty-ass village that can't do anything, and you improve on it, you help it out, and it becomes a really nice village, it thrives well. But I haven't played DOS enough to, you know, rate it. DOS would fit in Spiteful, though. DOS is like Freedom 2, but you have stick controls, so... no, thanks. Ooh! Well, yeah, have you played Word? Because Word is the same thing. Even worse, actually. Rise! Rise, rise, rise. Where do I put you? You are the closest game to GU. Yeah. Fair enough, Tia. You're the closest game to GU in the modern era. Your combat is snappy and cool. You use Hunter arts in a way. You kinda have Vylor built in. You have weapons. You have swap skills. The story is simple, doesn't get in the way, but that also makes your flagships a bit weak. Float. Better than these guys, though. Rise was probably one of the scummiest releases ever, and it's on par with Wilds for release. At least Rise is the better technical side. Rise was a game that was in development before World was. It was supposed to be a 3DS game. It got stuck in development hell, I think, for a while. I'm not sure if I should call it development hell, but it went through an entire generation of games without being released. And it came out well, half of it came out. The other half was title updates, which made me feel like I shouldn't care about Rise. Pretty sure I didn't even buy Rise on release. I think I bought it like after months. We made fun of Rise a lot for the gameplay, the scamminess. The graphic was a bit weak because while the weapon models were good, the environment's very washed out. The gameplay is a bit of a zoomer ADHD game, but you know, it's flawed. I can't. Unbreakable Sunday Torpedo. So I haven't played enough Sunbreak to tell you. I think that Sunbreak would fit in a sure why not. Oh shit. Ah, come on. Oh, thank you, Sada. Anyway, Sunbreak would fit in a sure why not, I feel, because what I'm mad about with okay, so if I don't consider the release date, Rise would be a sure why not game. It's probably the most enjoyable, one of the most enjoyable games in the modern era, because it doesn't have like terrible performance. The gameplay is snappy. It's different than main Monster Hunter for sure. It's made by the Portable team, so it has that genuine vibe of being faster and so on. Rise might be the fastest Monster Hunter we have for combat, but the release date drops it in float. It's still a good float. Right now, it would fit in sure why not, maybe Sunbreak around there. I don't think that Sunbreak change. Cast is too breathable, way too weeby. Is that a downside? Is it players? Now you have to address the elephant in the room. The big, bad, mean, evil elephant in the room. Yeah. We have to talk about this guy. Where did he go? We have to talk about this guy. This is the guy we are talking about. Frontier. Frontier has more monsters than GNU, more variants than GNU, more weapons than GNU, more set diversity than GNU. Frontier has only one issue. You can't play it. Because what we have of Frontier is not what Frontier was. And even now, people are making servers to recreate it, but you have to make concessions. Frontier has this issue where technically it's like a game that never was, because we aren't getting a game in our hands. We are getting something and we are working it into a game. If it was gameplay, it would be over GNU. Story, there is some story. There is a bunch of separate story plots depending on the sort of activities you do. I keep on pressing backward, I'm getting mad. But at the moment, currently, etc., whatever, you can say whatever, Frontier is not a proper game. You have to work things around. You can't obtain certain weapons. There are some limits, you have to know them and work around them or just accept them. For example, we are missing out on the entirety of the tower, which was a really good activity. Yeah, it's people have been playing Frontier Forward 5 and so on. We found the pre-G game. You can dance with Rappies, you can shoot Rappies. I'm gonna put Frontier above for you in the really good tier. But that's on the concession that I know what I'm doing with the game, and I am a server admin who can fix some shortcomings. If you can't, it would be dropping to float. Because depending on the server you play in, your experience might be spiteful or it might be really good. Some servers let you get broken weapons at the beginning of the game. It's flawed. I'm being a bit biased toward the fact that it's so good, but the game deserves to be slapped on the wrist. Kinda like Wilds got. Wilds would be really good, by the way. Straight up. But it needs to be slapped on the wrist. GNU recently has been put on sales for $10. That's a game you can play for like 600 hours pretty easily, and it's $10. Wilds is a game that released for 60 to 70 bucks. GU was like 40 to 50, and GU came out with more content. 600, yeah. If you don't grind like me, you can play 600. Baby numbers, yeah, but you have to consider like 600 hours for a game in the gaming sphere is incredible. Unless you're playing a multiplayer online game, like, you know, PvP games, that's usually like 40 to 50 hours for a game at best. You don't see that many hours. Monster Hunter is one of the sagas that actually could be played for like 600, 700 hours without trying. If you try, you can get like 2,000 hours like I did. But yeah, Frontier deserves a slap on the wrist for sure. I'm keeping it above for you because I enjoy the fights more than for you. Frontier has hardcore systems. It has Musos, it has Hunter Road, which is like a roguelike series of monster fights. You can transmog armor very easily in the game, even though you can only choose some aesthetic looks depending on the rank you're at. Different ranks. Live to win, 10-year grind. Frontier has so much content. The issue is that at the moment you don't have a structure that makes you go through the content as you should. So if you don't have a guide, you are gonna miss out on things that you will need later. For example, if nobody tells you about the Caravan Jewel, you will be missing out on heavy stats that you will need later. If you don't begin to level up your... the series is the content series. Well, some games don't have much content, like Try or Freedom 2, but you know. I feel that's it for my list. I'm just gonna copy this and put it on the Discord. Small words, I guess. These ones I'm gonna put them here, but it doesn't count much. DOS is a spiteful game. It's a spiteful little shit game, and I never wanted to. Oh god damn it! We will talk. We will make it one day. Freedom Unite. I think that Freedom Unite is a bit overloved for what it is. I think it would be still a float game, not because of the structure, but because the second gen engine might be one of the most annoying little shits to deal with. Like, it's the same issue as Freedom 2. Monsters clap you into hits. G rank means they now have way more health, and the hitboxes are bad. Can I say that Monster Hunter Freedom 2 would be in Spiteful Plus? Because this is the fucking game. This is the fucking game where I was in a gathering quest with the Popas ticket in my backpack, and a cat stole my ticket. And that was a map without any single cat retrieve spot. So basically I was stuck in a gathering quest for 50 minutes because the game was like, haha, get fucked, idiot. And that was my life for one stream. This game deserves to burn. Generations. If you're a cat player, Generations is better than GNU. Generation is probably gonna be in really good just because it's straight up weaker. It's not a bad game, it just has less than GNU. Sunbreak is probably on the better side. Because it doesn't have the same release flows that Rise has. And that's why I'm penalizing Rise. But I'm not sure, I haven't played most of it. If at all. Let's see. Gen and you can be a furry. 4, I think, would be a sure why not game. The mechanics weren't changed too much. The shelling got was a bit different, but that's fine. Ooh, I'm lagging like crazy. I was lagging like crazy in for you. Okay. Anyways. Oh, lovely. My antivirus is eating all of my CPU. I'm gonna uninstall this antivirus very soon. I'm just gonna choke it with a pillow. Anyway, back to us. While that thing tries to reload. Monster Hunter 1. That would be cool, I agree. Monster Hunter 1 is a float title. It's the first one in the saga, so you know, it's the first one. They didn't know what they were doing, but the title is very flawed. It has the same spitefulness of second gen, but it was like even clunkier because that was the first gen. I would put in spiteful, but it deserves to be a bit above just because it's the first game. Freedom gets to spiteful tier. I have seen what Freedom does to players. I have seen the spite plays Freedom does, and I don't like them. Freedom does horrible things, and I don't get them. You played Freedom Unite? Freedom Unite is better than Freedom Normal, for sure. Now is probably in the slop tier. Now, no doubt, fits in the slop tier. What else do I care to review? You missed the part grind? Yeah. Which is why I like GNU. GNU has a part grind for sure. Frontier even has a grind. Frontier gives you a good option though. Frontier lets you... let's say you are trying to get a monster. Like you need a gem, for example. Let's say you need a Darren gem, you know, just saying. You have fought him like 10 times and you didn't get it, despite it being like, you know, a 20% or something. You can just buy that gem with points, which you get by just daily playing. That's a good idea. Why would you be fucked over on RNG? I totally like that. Shut up, here. Okay, my antivirus is being an absolute piece of shit. No, I'm not interested. There is something that is absolutely killing me. Yeah, this antivirus is being absolute shit today. He only has 7, shut up. It's gonna lag the entire time, I know it already. Lovely, anyways. My bad, Dragon, but I share. Fair enough. I think that's it. Games I want to play. I want to get my hands on Explore. I want to get my hands on Online. And Dynamic Hunting might be cool. No, Dynamic Hunting might be cool. But yeah, that's it. Didn't I copy the picture? Anyways, I think that's it for the yapping section. Let's go to more yapping. Why do you do that? Access is denied your mum. You know, man, this thing is just going terribly now. Can I somehow change the priority? Because this thing is just destroy my priorities. And I can't stop it, which is beautiful. Lovely. I'm trying to see if I can somehow... I think I have to reboot. That's beautiful. This is just beautiful. Yeah, I have to reboot. God damn it. Okay, this guy is just gonna stick here and annoy my CPU the entire time. So I'm just gonna, you know, stop, get to reboot, and then we're gonna do this for you thing together. Give me a sec. I will be back. Okay, I will be back. See ya in a few minutes.